Hi, I'm Matthew Jacobs, writer and co-producer of the TV movie. Listen to Mark Who, 42.
Welcome to a very special edition of Mark Who 42. My name is Mark Baumgarten and I'm your host. And with me today, pulling on that rope, yanking him in is...
My name is Jarrod Cooper, and if you can send help, that would be appreciative.
Don't do that. But if you really want to, write to Mark 42. Nah, forget that. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to let you help him. He's stuck here. So, yeah, we're doing the show because of the big news. And it's been big news this week, and we thought we'd finally say our piece on it. The Disney Plus deal is over for Doctor Who, and in a way, I'm actually happy about that. But let's get some other news. Jarrod, why don't you take this?
Okay, yeah. Ever since season 2 of Doctor Who ended, it's been kind of in a weird hiatus standpoint. For the first time in the show's history, there wasn't a Doctor Who will return on Christmas or whenever. It was very much open-ended. We didn't know what was going on. Was it staying? Was it going? Was it staying on Disney Plus? Was it being extended, changed? We don't know. Well, we now do know that it has been announced by both Disney and the BBC that the partnership for Doctor Who production between the BBC and Disney Plus is over. What will be happening, as everyone knows, we do have the 5-part miniseries, The War Between the Land and the Sea. That will be airing exclusively in the UK on BBC One and BBC iPlayer later this year. Everyone is looking at the calendar going, well, later this year is December. And
Christmas!
it
Woohoo!
it just makes sense. You know, if you were sitting there going, well, we've got this thing we've already made, it's pretty high, high visibility, people are wanting to see it, put it at Christmas. I mean, it's just that's a common sense decision, but I digress. It is being said that Disney Plus will be sharing The War Between the Land and the Sea after the first of the year in 2026. A lot of the ramble is that will be February, which kind of lines up, which would be fine. Either way, it won't be global simulcast the same way it has been in a long time, in many years, because now one thing that isn't really clear, Mark, is does the end of the production deal also end the distribution deal? I believe it did, but it is not something that has been specifically spelled out.
Okay. So you're saying that what seems to be is that Disney Plus will give up the rights to stream it to whoever buys the Doctor Who package, which someone has to, because in America at least, we have no way of watching Series 1 to Series 13 except through physical media and other means. There is
Well,
a streaming service in the United States showing Eccleston to Jodie Whittaker.
I want to bring up something else to your point on
Okay.
this. You are correct. The first 13 seasons of the modern era are bundled up in one package. Okay. We now have a situation where we have the 2 years of the Disney package sitting separate. And Disney has been funky. We have seen them remove things from streaming entirely. They have removed things from their platform before, and they have been gone. However, are those 2 seasons going to be a separate streaming package? Will they remain on Disney Plus? So even if you have I'm going to use a name, Uflix. Suppose we have a streaming provider called Uflix,
Sure.
and they want the distribution rights to Doctor Who, and they say, okay, we want the back catalog. Would the back catalog only be the first 13 seasons of New Doctor Who? Or would it include the Disney deal? Would it only include the Disney deal? Would they be done separate? That's an interesting dilemma there. So I
Well,
think I was just gonna, I was just
brings
gonna,
up a point I have.
Mhm.
If because I know we're talking, and we'll say in a minute, it's going to come back.
Right.
The next season of Doctor Who, will it be Doctor Who 2023 season 3? Will it be Doctor Who 2005 series 16, or actually series 14 if the Disney thing is a separate deal?
Right, exactly. What is going on there? How will the numbering go? Or if you're a completist, is it going to be season 40 something of the classic
Hmm,
series? Like
it's true.
you can factor it in however you want to do that numbering wise.
Right. But
Um,
but to me it seems like Doctor Who 2023 is over. And so it does go back to 2005 unless they do Doctor Who 2026, which would suck because that's a lot of different shows. At
it,
least meta. Yeah.
it's a lot of different things put together, but you know, sometimes it would be better. I think about another long-term show that ran for a long time and did a format change and then decided they wouldn't. I'm looking at you, Stargate SG-1. And Stargate SG-1, quite honestly, those last 2 or 3 seasons should have been rebranded as a different show.
Right.
But they didn't. So if you have Doctor Who 2005 and 2023 and 2026, it's where do you jump on?
Hmm. Folks, I don't know if you can hear the airplane going by. I'm actually recording this at the airport on the runway. It's kind of scary.
Well, especially considering the issues that they're having with air traffic controllers right now, I would make sure you don't have something coming for you.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. But I digress. You are
You
going.
know, so yeah. So the Disney distribution deal is over. With that said, we want to now jump to the second part of the announcement that is moving forward. Doctor Who will be returning to our screens in 2 capacities. It will be returning in the form of a Christmas special in 2026, and they have announced that they have talked Russell T Davies into coming back and writing,
Yeah.
end quote. And so Russell T Davies is writing a Christmas special for 2026. And there is also a animated CBeebies Doctor Who show in some form of pre-production. I haven't heard anything of ink going to, or pixels going to monitors or anything, but that has been in production as well. But the one everybody is focusing on is the Christmas special, because if you go back, and we've talked about this on our other show, the TARDIS Travel Guide. So if you're bored and need a cure for insomnia, you can go listen to that show. Um,
Mm,
anyhow, it's discussed there that there are many things about this announcement that's good news. Doctor Who's coming back. Russell's going to write it, but there's things that are not mentioned. For instance, spoiler alert for people that didn't see the last bit of season 2. It doesn't say Doctor Who will be returning starring Billie Piper.
that is true.
And while the BBC announcement does say that there are plans in development for future series of Doctor Who that will come down the road, it doesn't say that Russell T Davies and Bad Wolf are producing them.
And that's interesting because I remember before anything was decided, Russell said he basically had season 3 and 4 down.
Right.
Um, but now it looks like maybe he's not. And and the fact that he was talked into doing the Christmas episode, I've said this on a few different shows, different podcasts. I was on Type 40 Live, episode 261. It's on YouTube. We were talking about this. And I'm thinking they're bringing Russell in for maybe just that episode to fill in the hole that he dug for himself at the end of season 2. Because there's a hole. There is a big hole.
This wouldn't be the first time that this has happened. I know one of the biggest writer situations like this that I could think of in modern sci-fi history is Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Okay.
The writers who wrote the Best of Both Worlds Part 1 were told that they would not be responsible for Part 2. Do us a favor, do it as big, as nasty as you want. You're not going to have to clean it up, et cetera, et cetera. So they did that wonderful cliffhanger for the end of season 3. You have Riker saying fire, everything's fine. And then in the middle of the hiatus, they told them, oh, by the way, you've now been hired to write the opener, so you have to clean up what you just did. So
that's only fair.
Yeah. And I'm wondering if this is what we're going to see, that Russell is going to be cleaning up some of his dangling plot strings and resetting things to status quo for an ongoing show. Because think about it, what is lingering? We have the Billy Piper question. Why does the regeneration result in the face of Billy Piper?
Right.
We have the boss. We don't know the identity.
Oh, we still don't know the boss. What's the Celestial Toymaker doing in all this? Because it looked like something has to come. He has to come back somehow.
Or in any other entity.
Jinx Monsoon. We have to have Maestro back.
The gods. We have to get them.
The gods.
The Pantheon. Yep.
Yeah.
Although I do have a internal logic now that the boss is the master.
Okay,
it's cool. The boss is either the master or Susan, and I have a good. It makes more sense now for the boss to be Susan. But I'm going to talk fanish just for a second to get off topic for a second. Think about the door from the Time Hotel.
Okay.
The door can, as you can see, Anita got really good at plopping those doors anywhere it needed to be, including on that balcony and rescuing Shooty from plummeting into the earth, right? What if a door to the Time Hotel opened just off of the helicopter platform at the end of the special, and those fingernailed hand, the fingernailed hand that picked up the tooth was Anita?
Yeah. Okay. That's actually an interesting theory.
But either way, those are some of the dangling threads that are there. Yeah.
So I have to say something.
Go ahead.
You have all those dangling threads, and you've got Russell to fix it. So Russell has to take care of all that and make a family-friendly romp because it's a Christmas special. He doesn't have time for it. They're going to give him like 55 or 60 minutes. How does he make a fun episode that people are going to come in and turn on for Christmas and enjoy with their family, and at the same time deal with all this backstory, which really you may not even care about, and you may switch it off? How does he do that? How does he balance it?
I would suggest that he gets a Ouija board and channels Terrence Dicks and ask Terrence how he did it in the Five Doctors.
Okay.
Because Terrence had...
That's actually good. I like that.
Terrence had characters galore, and Time Lords and Daleks and Cybermen and, people who had nothing to do but wait in the TARDIS and be menaced, even though they were perfectly safe inside the TARDIS.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
It was a fun episode. It was fun, friendly. Yeah.
So yeah, how does he do it? I would suggest he would do that.
Okay. That is cool. All right. So we've got Christmas 2026. We've got War of the Land and the Sea in England, in Great Britain, in December. Hopefully Christmas in the United States and around the world on Disney Plus sometime next year. I want to bring up the point that all the advertising for War Between the Land and the Sea, and from the beginning of when they started advertising, the words "World of Doctor Who" was not there.
Anywhere.
They were already, yeah, Disney already knew. And they just announced it. We kind of knew because
Mhm.
Disney was doing the layoffs and curtailing some of the TV. Why would they continue doing a show that's not theirs when they're not doing some of their own? So we knew it back then. We really didn't go into it before. But
And
tell me how, because we knew this, how we knew that the announcement was coming up. What happened the day before?
the day before, there was an announcement by someone from the BBC that announced the December air date. It was a one-line thing in an interview that said, "The War Between the Land and the Sea is coming exclusively to iPlayer and BBC One this year."
Yeah,
And as we're sitting here talking, I mentioned this before, as we're sitting here talking at the end of October, early November, this is going to be Christmas. And the fact that they said exclusively on BBC One and all that, I was like, the deal is over. If
well,
it's not a simulcast same day anymore, it's over.
but in Great Britain, Doctor Who was, even in the last 2 years or 3 years, Doctor Who was exclusively on BBC One and BBC iPlayer because they're talking about in Great Britain. So technically, they were not saying that. Now we know they were saying that, but technically, they were not announcing it's not coming on at the same time the rest of the world. They were just saying, hey, it's exclusively here because in Great Britain, it is exclusively on the iPlayer and BBC One. Just throwing a devil's advocate thing out there.
Yeah, but now, we all know that was what was said, because
I know.
even when I saw it, I was like, "Oh, we're going to be getting an announcement any day now," and
Yeah.
the next day, boom, here it is.
Yeah, and they were saying the announcement wasn't going to come until after War Between the Land and the Sea.
Which
So it
which
was,
everybody,
this announcement was not expected at this time. It was definitely known that it was going to happen, but we
yeah,
didn't expect it this week.
yeah. So either way, it's here, but it's going to be good. I mean, I look forward to it. I look forward to seeing what ends up happening, how things get sorted in whatever way that they are. There are lots of ways you could go about doing it. Um, I am a little I mourn for the Shurigawa era. I'm glad that the show is moving forward, but at the same time, I also mourn for what could have been.
Yeah.
But, it is what it is, and there is a gap in his travels where Big Finish and the novels can go in and do wonderful things with that character, and I look forward to it.
Yeah. Have you seen the poster for War Between the Land and the Sea? It's got the Sea Devils coming out towards New York.
Yep.
I kind of like that. That's actually kind of cool. And if you look at it, it's a reverse shot, kind of the great image you get from the Sea Devils where they're coming out of the water. They're coming out of the water and they're coming towards you. This time they're coming out of the water away from you. It's like a reverse angle shot, and I find
Hmm.
that kind of interesting. I think um, that it's a great poster.
I'm going to give you all something else to just keep in the back of your mind of this is interesting, and anybody that's listened to us rattle on for this long, it, I think you'll appreciate it. There was a Doctor Who, it was either called the Gallifreyan Masquerade or a gala. There was a special event that was there that was done just 2 or 3 days ago, right?
Okay.
And people were there was costumes, and I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it was something like the Masquerade of Gallifrey, or whatever.
All right.
Whatever this event was, there was an on-screen shout out slash hello from Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill.
Hmm.
They were sitting together at a table. And they said, hey, it's the Ponds, Amy and Rory, all attendees at the Gallifrey Gala. We hope you're having fun. Blah, 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 blah. The only thing I'm going to sit and go is I found it interesting that they were together. It's like, I wonder why they're together. And then I went back and rewatched one of the YouTube clips that I found, and it looks really, really much like they are sitting in one of the how do I say it? Break rooms, green rooms at the Sound House.
Ooh, why are they there?
And I was like, why would they be there together?
Well, I have an idea, and you're probably going to say it. We've been saying that for Christmas they could do a Tales of the TARDIS real easy. And maybe that's what that is. Maybe they are making a Christmas special, even though of Doctor Who.
Well, the Sound House, Mark, is
Right.
one of the standing
Oh,
audio
Big Finish.
studios.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So yeah, but now Arthur's done Big Finish before.
Arthur's done Big Finish. He's
Yeah.
got a couple box sets on him. Karen has never.
Folks, I
And
want to apologize for that slip up.
it's okay. His regeneration was a little rough this time, and his brain's going there.
There you go. Let's go with that story. Yeah.
But I found it very interesting. But we also know that Big Finish records things years and years and years and years out.
Yes.
And I have a feeling that we might not, we might not have it. However, I'm going to say this, Mark.
Okay.
And I'm sort of willing this out into the universe, right?
Okay.
What if the Eccleston new series ongoing, Jodie Whittaker new series ongoing? We know it's been very popular. We know it's been selling very well. What if they have finally convinced Matt to come and do box sets?
I realized that's what you were going for.
Yeah.
That would be great because I know, like Capaldi says, never, but he will. But yeah,
Right.
Matt Smith, that would be a great thing because then you've got Eccleston, you've got Tennant, you'd have Matt Smith, you have Jodie. So really, all that would be left would be Capaldi and Ncuti.
Yep.
And so that's great because you have a classic. You're all full. New series, modern series. That would be great. Big Finish really has a thing going. They really do.
I mean, and it wouldn't be something that would be released now. They could let the current run of audios for 13 and 9, those monthly ones, let them go, and then let's just say half
2027.
Yeah. When that 2-year release cycle is over, say, hey, guess what? Welcome to Big Finish. Boom, boom, boom. Here we go. And I'm like, for a long-term solution, I think that's brilliant. And if that one picture of them together tells that story or even hints at that story, take my money now.
Yeah, me too. I would take it.
And it's really funny. We're talking about this show is here for us to talk about the news of the future of the show coming back, and we've gone to Big Finish. It's very interesting to see how much they have become a part of the ongoing love.
All right. Okay, folks. Do you have anything else you want to add, Jared? Anything else you need to?
Nothing at the moment. We've got a year and what, 13? We've got 13 months.
Yeah, it's another long. If you go from where the season ended to where the Christmas is, that's about it's maybe a little longer than the Colin Baker hiatus.
No, but you know what? You have just got me researching a question that I had, and I want to get the final answer sorted. Okay. Ncuti got was tenure as the Doctor. was from December 25th, Christmas Day,
Right.
to the 31st of May, 2025. So we
Okay.
had a year and 5 months and a week.
Mm-hmm.
1 year, 5 months, and a week. And if we go from May 2025 to December of 2026,
Mm-hmm.
that is one Christmas to Christmas is 1 year.
Yeah.
13, 14. Billy Piper will have been the incumbent doctor longer than Shooty Gatwa was the doctor by about a month or two.
Oh, wow. And we know she isn't, but that's
Right.
actually interesting.
Yeah.
That's interesting. All right. On that note, we're going to take leave here on Mark Crew 42. My name is Mark Baumgarten. With me was Jarrod Cooper. We were talking about Doctor Who on this episode. Make sure you listen to our show, Mark Crew 42, and Time TARDIS Travel Guide, which alternate on Subspace Radio, always on Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time in America, and repeated on Friday at 9 a.m. in Great Britain, and then another 2 times throughout the weekend. We alternate. They're great shows. TARDIS Travel Guide, I do with Jarrod and Zion Kiros, and Mark Crew 42. Usually I have Vicky Jakubowski and Juan San Miguel, and sometimes Zion, and actually sometimes Jarrod. Sometimes, yeah. I want to, because we didn't have a commercial break, I need to do shout outs to Florida Geek Scene and Geekcast Radio Network. Thank you for allowing us to be in your networks. And I think that's about it. Any final words, Jarrod?
Go read a book. It's going to be a bit.
Yeah, read a book. We'll be back. Oh, and yeah, catch us, like I said, on Thursdays and on podcast streaming around the world. All right. On that note, bye, everyone.
You've been listening to Mark Who 42. Your hosts, Mark Baumgarten, Vicky Jakubowski, Juan San Miguel, and Zion Kiros. Mark Who 42's Universe is produced and directed by Mark Baumgarten. Copyright 2025.